Kemi Badenoch's been in hiding away from the media interviews for weeks now, and it's really clear why. In the final week before the Conservatives elect their new leader, the final two are Kemi Badenoch and Robert Jenrick. Up until this point, it's only been Robert Jenrick that's been doing the media rounds, with Badenoch staying out of the media spotlight. It's rumoured that she's got the lead over Jenrick and must have felt that she didn't need to go out in public. Jenrick, on the other hand, has managed to dig himself a big hole with his old ECHR stance. However, this being the final week before the Conservative members cast their vote, Kemi Badenoch has been hitting the airwaves trying to convince members that she is the person to lead the Conservatives. Problem is that she's not very good at it. During the interview with Times Radio, when it's all going her way and she's got nice easy questions, she's all smiles and quite happy. But the moment she gets a question she doesn't like, she's instantly on the attack, instantly on the aggressive stance, and it really doesn't come across well. In the clip I'm about to show you, she tries to row back on comments she's made about Robert Jenrick, basically about him being corrupt. But the funny thing is, while she's trying to defend her stance on what she said about Robert Jenrick, she actually admits that the PPE contracts were corrupt. I don't think she really meant to do that. It is quite painful to watch, and if she does get the job of leader of opposition, she's going to have to face the media way more often, and I don't think she's going to stand for it. I don't think she's going to last. But here she is getting rather cross with Kate McCann about words she actually been quoted as saying.
You said over the weekend that there was a whiff of impropriety about your fellow leadership contender. Do you think that was appropriate?
That's actually not what I said. The interview transcript will show that I was asked, why is George Osborne supporting you? And I said there are many people who probably would not support me, but they want somebody who has integrity. They're very unhappy about what happened in the last Parliament. There was a whiff of impropriety when we look at things like the some of the COVID contracts. They were done properly.
Well, forgive me. The quote was the direct quote, and I've put it in quote marks here because it was a direct quote. It was relating to people wanting to choose you over the other leadership candidate because they wouldn't want to choose somebody about whom there was a whiff of impropriety.
Well, I'm not going to ask you to read out the full quotes, but I do remember what I said. And if I could finish the point I was making. We have a problem now that the party has been defeated very badly. We are at a crossroads. We have one chance to get this right. And I was making a point that integrity matters. I think that is important.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy to talk about my integrity. Now, if an interview asks me a question about my opponent, I will answer lightly, but I'll go back to talking about myself. What I don't like is when an interviewer asks a question, you answer it, and then they say, well, why were you talking about your opponent when they've just asked that question?
But you understand the context of a question,
If I may finish, Kate. I think it is very important that politicians are allowed to say what they think without it constantly being twisted to create, an attack on someone else.
Well, this isn't being twisted, though. It was a question about why you would be chosen over your opponent, and your answer hinted at a whiff of impropriety about your opponent. That is somebody taking your words directly in relation to a question.
But I was very specific that what members tell me is that they are tired of this, and I'm using their words, and I'm quoting them. I don't think that there's anything wrong in that. And we need to be able...
So do you think there is a whiff of impropriety about Robert Jenrick?
I'm not interested in talking about Robert Jenrick. I'm interested in talking about my campaign. And what I'm saying is that we have lost the election because the public have lost trust in Conservatives.
And I think one of the ways that
If I may finish, Kate, you do keep interrupting. I would like to finish. We have lost trust with the public. And if we're going to get that back, they're going to want somebody who has demonstrated integrity. And I talked about how I had done that.
One of the most important ways to get the trust of people is to be very clear and to be very direct. And I'm asking you, in an interview when you were asked about your opponent, you hinted at a whiff of impropriety around Robert Jenrick. I'm asking you, do you believe there is a whiff of impropriety around Robert Jenrick?
Robert Jenrick was a very good minister. I've worked with him. We are very friendly. I have told you that people are tired of the party looking like it is not out working for the people out there. That is what I want to bring. Integrity and a focus on conviction and Conservative values. I do not want to get into an endless running commentary about other candidates.
In the full interview, which I've linked in the description below, you can actually see her claiming to take the moral high ground, stating that the right just think that the left are a little bit wrong, whereas the left think the right are completely evil. Yet when she was in government, you can actually see how nasty she really is. And that's in the video that's on screen now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.